Hey there, everybody. Welcome to this week's astrology reading for February 29th. This week we have a very interesting week. I actually took a bunch of notes just on the chart for this week. There's some, minor stuff going on, but then we have this one really major aspect I'm going to talk about at the end. And I think everything really comes together nicely this week. So I titled this video, Be an Observer, this week. And I think it's definitely a week to be an observer, to just listen to people as well. We pretty much kick off this week with Mercury conjunct Venus, and that's going to be happening in Aquarius. And I think that this is really kind of a time to use just your raw intelligence, just things that you know. It's a good time to learn as well. I've been really pushy about the learning this year, and especially in my 2016 readings that I did with the card readings. Learning came up very strongly for the year of 2016. And then we look at the astrology and some of the things that are going on in the astrology. I really think people that take the time to learn this year are going to end up doing really well. And this can be home-based learning from home, going back to school. All these things come up, and there's a lot of potential for that as well. Especially we have, Mars going retrograde here in a couple weeks, and Mars going retrograde is a great time to decide to kind of go back to school in some ways. A lot of people do that during Mars retrogrades. They, think about what they want to do, and then, well, usually, I'd say your mind changes during a Mars retrograde, but then you can go to school later. But I think with this Mercury conjunct Venus, it's a great time to learn, especially in Aquarius. It's great for our mind, great for thinking, things like that. It's also a very charming aspect as well. So if you're looking to meet somebody, you could go out there and charm some people. But try not to be too picky this week as well. I think when we have, Mercury and Venus, and especially Venus, we can get super picky about things, and we can also overspend, of course. And I think with this Mercury, conjuncting Venus there, we can definitely tell ourselves things in our heads that we maybe want to purchase something, or we need to, change something about ourselves, and then, this aspect passes and we're just like, wait, I really didn't want to do that. But we also have Mercury entering Pisces this week. I think it's a great time to dream big, especially with Pisces there. Pisces are big dreamers, so with Mercury and Pisces there, it's a great time to plan those things out, to think really big this week. It's also a great time to learn to listen. I think that would be, again, like I said, I titled this video Be an Observer. I think it's an amazing week to just observe and listen, and especially when you're talking to people. This is like a time with Mercury and Pisces here where you can hear what is not being said. You can pick things up from people. You can better read between the lines, so to speak, and you might be able to gain some sort of insight, maybe at work, in a relationship, or, anywhere, and you could learn something that could really benefit you. And I think, again, I'm going to talk about this a little bit more on this last aspect that I think is really important this week, that I think really kind of lends itself to some surprises in your life, some exciting surprises. I consider it a very harmonious aspect, so we'll get there. But next we have Mars entering Sagittarius, and I think this is where we can become a little bit restless. We can get a little bit angry, a little bit excited about things, especially now with, we got the elections this year, so it's a time where people are very passionate about their political beliefs and things like that. I would actually tell you to stay out of it this week, and probably for a while until Mars leaves Sagittarius. We can get very argumentative with Mars entering Sagittarius. We can get on kind of like a soapbox, with Mars and Sagittarius here, and then nobody, sometimes when we have this aspect, nobody around us feels the same way, and then they look at us like we're an idiot or whatever, or just a jerk, acting like a jerk. Especially with Mars and Sagittarius, we can get a little bit too aggressive and things like that. So, but we can be very passionate during this time as well, which really plays in again to that learning and being passionate about something. It really kind of can give you that little bit of a kick to get going. But what I really want to talk about this week, and maybe other astrologers would not agree with this aspect being as important as I think it is, but I think we're in for some surprises. We have Jupiter quincunx Uranus this week, and I think this plays in with the Pluto-Uranus as well. A little bit, we have Uranus, which is kind of a planet of revolution and all these things, and surprises. Really, I think you're in for some surprises this week and some good surprises. I think if you take everything that I've said about just listening, I think that's where these surprises can come from. And again, I think it would be from something that isn't said, that isn't heard, but you're kind of reading between the lines, coming to a positive conclusion. And again, I would, with that Mars in Sagittarius, I would think about it first before I act this week, and with the Venus aspect as well. Sometimes we can act too quickly under Venus, but I would think these things over. With this Jupiter quincunx Uranus, it's a great aspect. It makes us want to work harder. It makes us want to learn new things. It makes us want to learn how to better control our outcomes. I think that's why people are really taking the time to learn this year and wanting to learn this year. People are looking at their jobs and they're saying, wait a minute, this job is not going to be around forever, probably not. Or my pension isn't going to last forever. They're going to take my pension away, or whatever the case may be. This is like us learning to control our own destinies. People are becoming I think, very self-sufficient and more caring about themselves in a good way. And of course, we need to help people out and we need to be caring of other people. But really, I think it's a time to really care for yourself, worry about yourself, and learn new things. Learn how to control your own destiny. I think that's really important under an aspect like this. Plus, all the other aspects we've already been through over the past few years, I think, have really kind of pushed us to realize that nobody can take care of us. Nobody else can help us. We are the only ones that can help ourselves, basically. And this is a very harmonious aspect as well. I mean, I think, with Jupiter and Uranus, they go well together. I think Jupiter will make these more positive surprises. And this is kind of like one of those aspects where you could end up in the right place at the right time where something happens. So again, keep your ears open. Mercury in Pisces. Just keep those ears open. Don't talk. I would say don't talk at all this week. Really try to listen to what people are saying. And it could end up having, somebody telling you a secret or giving you some sort of tip or something that really helps you out. But also be open to the unexpected this week with that Jupiter quincunx Uranus. I think that's a very important aspect this week. I would really be looking for a lot of unexpected things. I think even if we look at the global scale this week, I think you'll see a lot of unexpected things coming out, maybe even in the news and in the press. This is a pretty powerful, thing to me. Even though a quincunx isn't really that powerful, maybe not. But as far as I'm concerned, I think there's going to be a lot of surprises this week. So very surprising. Like I said, be an observer this week. Observe things. Don't have that reaction. Don't have that Mars Sagittarius reaction. Observe it. Take it in. Listen to what people are saying, and then come to your conclusion. I think that will get you through this week nicely. So thank you for watching so much. Really appreciate it. I do offer astrology readings, by the way. A lot of people have been asking me. I have a link down in the video here and also in the description below. I'm pretty booked up, so it might take a little bit of time. I know I usually get my readings out pretty quickly, but at this time, pretty booked up. So thank you and enjoy the week.